Why is the Arctic important? To me, I guess, because I live in the Arctic, I live in a nation which is probably one of the most affected when it comes to climate. We base our income on three principles. One is clean energy that we get from water in the ground. Secondly, of course, it's the fishing. Even when Iceland had serious economic crisis, we still had the fish, and it was basically the fish that got us through those problems. Thirdly, we now base a lot of our income on tourism. It's known that most of the tourists that come to Iceland come because of the environment. The other issue, of course, is that the Arctic is believed to hold as much as 30% of the unused resources of the globe. And there's a lot of interest internationally, both from Arctic nations and also other nations. My name is Halldór Jóhannsson. I'm born and raised in Iceland. I direct the Arctic Portal. Arctic Portal is an information gateway to Arctic information and data.
Jóhannsson meets with diver Erlendur Bogason, who's worked with Chinese divers to collect underwater samples in this marine protected area.
But are you getting support from Icelandic authorities to protect it? Or?
No.
What's that?
So almost everything is paid up from my pockets.
We applied some years ago for some funding to do some citizen science applications. We got some of it going, but it's very difficult to get concrete and ongoing interest. The problem is you may get some funding for 2 or 3 or 4 years, but then what? So the only way to really make his life's work valuable and continue it is either form sort of a foundation around him or get international organizations and institutions to actually come in and continue the work. And that's why, of course, we've also introduced it to the Chinese, because they are very interested in such research. They're new to this field, but they're very sincere. And I think by increasing international collaboration, getting everyone basically interested, then we are more likely to see it continue.
Halldór Jóhannsson's work extends beyond research collaboration with his Chinese counterparts. He also organizes trips for Chinese students to visit the country and learn more about climate change.
Through our collaboration in China, the concept was introduced that maybe we could develop something like I Discover the Arctic, a way to learn and experience at the same time, somewhat of a summer school that brings them to Arctic locations where they then have some educational material that will then hopefully open their eyes and open their senses in a way that further education will be easier for them. So it's in many ways, like my late father did, planting the seeds and hoping that they will actually grow.
We're going to walk past a pond. Someone was wondering if they could take a water sample, and you're welcome to take a water sample there.
So we are in Grímsey to explore one hand the Arctic Circle. Grímsey is the only part of Iceland that actually crosses the Arctic Circle. Secondly, to see some of the bird life. And thirdly, experience this very unique community, basically in the middle of nowhere, where life is complicated and at the same time very rewarding because of the fisheries around. It's unique because it's an island in an ocean that never freezes.
再醒醒，再醒醒。有电吗？我有电。哇，我的手！
The color of the building, the yellow, is the sun. In the upper atmosphere research that we're doing here, it's very much about the sun and how the sun affects the earth that we live on. The sun has a lot of importance that we don't always know about.
Yeah.
Because of the magnetic field, because of the northern lights, the solar storms. Even though you live in China, even though you don't see it, it may affect you, and it does affect you. To let them know. We're currently at the CIAO station, the China-Iceland Arctic Observatory. CIAO in Chinese means bridge, and the intention, the hope is that this physical building will lead to bridge building between our nation in Iceland and the Chinese nation and other nations, because we have an agreement that this is definitely, yes, a collaboration between Iceland and China, but also third-party participation is welcomed.
他只对，看着我，看着我。